Well, after the Locale Fest that was the 600 at Charlotte, stop number 13 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to the track that the drivers affectionately or ragingly refer to as the Monster Mile, Dover Downs International Speedway, and the running of the FedEx 400. The FedEx, of course, the official sponsor of 2016 Daytona 500 champion Denny Hamlin. Now, if you notice the point standings from the last race after the last race at Charlotte, though, we had it recorded as 13 races instead of 12, since there was 12 in the books, actually. Well, let me explain why. All right. Of course, little faux pas that happened, I guess you might say. I actually entered a Richmond race for a second time, actually, the race before the 600. And so, but the best thing about ScoreForce, and of course the feature of that system, is that you can adjust the points to any driver. So for the second Richmond login, I actually rewarded no points to every driver on the tour to keep from having double points on the season. So that is why there's 13 races recorded instead of 12, and that is of course why Preston Plord's got one more win, 3, when he actually has 2 on the season. So, anyway, that is why, of course, the race at that's why there's 13 races recorded instead of 12 as we have. So, what really is race 13 is happening right now at Dover Downs International Speedway. So, if you thought Charlotte was a lull fest as it was in the 600, well, if you've seen our Dover races, you ain't seen nothing yet. Dover can be pretty crazy as well. 60 laps of action here on the Monster Mile. Let's get started for this running event. On the pole, and both of them with in-car cameras today. Jessica Shelton on the pole in the McDonald's Ford number 94, yet to win a race this season. Could Dover be the day? We'll find out in about 60 laps. Alongside of her is Kyle Matthews, who has a win this season that came at Rockingham in the Coors Light Silver Bullet, car number 42. His car is the Pontiac. Second row will have Seth Cole in car 98, the winner at Martinsville in the RCA Ford, and beside him, Paul Minnick in the Winston Noble Ford Taurus, car 23. Row number 3 has the Coca-Cola 600 champion Joshua Osborne in the 87 Burger King Chevrolet out of Nemco Motorsports, and Zachary Fitzwater, number 9, to Spam Mobile, the Spam Melling Ford. Going to row 4, we'll have Kat Batson, car 88, at the Quality Gear Services Ford Credit Ford Thunderbird, and Dylan Young in the Miller Lite Ford Taurus, car number 2. Going to row 5, we'll have Joshua Collard yet to win a race, and also yet to get a top 10 this season, believe it or not. The man from the jelly old UK. He's in the STP Pontiac car number 43, and beside him will be Levi McIntyre in the XFRS SKF Ford car number 99, who almost won the 600 at Charlotte, the last race on the tour. He has our third in-car camera. Going to row 6, we'll have Jesse Turner in car 75, the Remington Arms Ford, and William Brock in car 4, the Kodak Dome Chevrolet. Here, going to row 7, we'll have Ryan George in number 15, the Quality Care Services Ford Thunderbird, who almost won the 600 at Charlotte, only to get passed by Osborne on the last lap. And beside him, Jay Jefferson, number 90, the Holligmeyer Stores Ford. Going to the next row down, we'll have Jason Haywood in car 81, the Square D Ford, and alongside Quentin Moore, the Daytona 500 champion, the Sitco Ford, car number 21. Next row down, we'll have Johnny Gardner in the Family Channel Prime Star Ford, car number 16, and Keith Badson, car 28, Texaco Haviland Ford. Next row down, Charles Sanford, car 24, the DuPont Chevrolet, and beside him, Mike Becker on the Hot Wheels Ford Pontiac, car number 44. Becker was winner this season at Atlanta. Next row down, Dylan Poteet coming off of a great run in the 600 at Charlotte in the MB&A Pontiac car 22. And Trent Dunham, 2-time winner in the number 1 Pennzoil Chevrolet. His wins came this season at Texas and Darlington. Next row down, Phil Parker in car 5, the Kellogg's Gordon Flake Chevrolet, and Becca Tellier in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6. Next row down, we'll have Nicholas Wade in car 26, the Quaker State Ford, and 2-time winner Cole Deaver in the GM Goodrich Chevrolet car number 3. His wins came at Bristol and North Wilkesboro. Next row down, Preston Plord, another 2-time winner in the Interstate Batteries Pontiac car 18. His wins came, as we mentioned, Richmond, and the other came at Auto Club at California Speedway. He's alongside Zach Winkle in the number 97, John Deere Ford. Next row down, Vince Almerigo, number 10, the Tide Ford, and beside him will be Austin Colano in car 37, the Kmart RC Cola Energizer Ford. Next row down has Diego Yepes in the USAir Jasper Engines Federal Mogul Ford in car 77. And 6 numbers down, Carter Friesen in the Olive Garden Chevrolet car 71. Next row down has Ryan Brommer sporting another special paint scheme, his second of I think 5, I think, so he's going to be sporting. He's in the Western Auto Parts America Chevrolet, and this one painted like the Darrell Waltrip Mountain Dew colors, car number 17. And he is alongside Rob Evans in the mobile, and is alongside actually number 41, Peter Onjack in the Kodiak Chevrolet. Next row down, Ben Crouch, number 25, the Boazers Chevrolet, and Rob Evans, number 12, the Mobile One Ford. Next row down, Tony Green, and number 33, the Skull Bandit Chevrolet, and Ashlyn Boyd in the Close Call Phone Call Ford, car number 11. Next row down, Daniel Bouchard in car 30, the Pennzoil Pontiac, and number 7, Jonathan Zorlin in the Exide Barriers Ford. And starting shotgun in the field, Sean Ard in number 13. He's in the First Plus Loans Ford. So here comes the command to fire the engines for the FedEx 400 at Dover.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
That's ladies and gentlemen, actually, because there is a girl on the front on the pole for this event. So anyway, that's gonna. So fields begin to roll off on the what will be the pace lap before we get the green flag racing here. Track, of course, is a lot. This track is a lot like an overgrown Bristol in some ways. Here, you remember Bristol? We had 6 caution flags in that event, and except Bristol's a half-mile track. Dover is a 1-mile concrete track, but very high banking, and you see for the sure it's very steep as well for straightaway. But the banking here, 24 degrees. That's the exact same banking as you'll find at Texas, Atlanta, and Charlotte. By the way, all three of those 1.5-mile tracks. This is a little bitty 1-mile track, but the speed's very serious. The pole speed at 170 miles per hour, set by the number 94 car on the front row. Jessica Shelton and Kyle Matthews will lead him down. The green flag is out, and we are racing at Dover. And 3 wide off the 4th turn. You're going to see cars wall scraping off the 4th turn wall. And 3 wide racing here. That's Kat Batson, Joshua Osborne, and Paul Minnick. Minnick way up on the outside of the track here. Joshua Collard looking racy here in the 43 cars. He moves inside of Minnick and now moves inside of the other Joshua Osborne, that is. And now Minnick is up on the high side, and he's got Zachary Fitzwater below him. And now the Joshuas are side by side, Osborne and Collard. Actually, Collard falls in behind Osborne. And Kat Batson up ahead, leading this pack of cars, the 88 car. And this mess of cars are there. You see Jason Haywood, Dylan Young, Levi McIntyre, Charles Sanford, Johnny Gardner. Roof cam from Levi McIntyre's car. McIntyre right now running in 13th position. Make that 14th position now as he moves inside of Gardner for 13th place. But Gardner says no way as he moves outside of McIntyre. And the yellow flag is flown for the first time here today. And not sure what the cause of the yellow flag was. It might have been Poteet in 22 that caused the yellow flag. Not sure. So let's see what happened to cause the first yellow flag of the day, and it was Poteet. He and Charles Sanford. And that is a big no-no at Dover. 4 wide off the 4th turn, and you can't do that. And they were almost 5 wide off the 4th turn at Dover with Levi McIntyre. But McIntyre, thankfully, had far enough distance to keep that from happening. But, oh gosh, and that's top 5 in the points where there were Charles Sanford. That's going to cost him points-wise. And ignore that orange dot on the 24, orange 24, because that is not a Winston Noble race, by the way. But Dylan Poteet, of course, who was actually at one point top 10 in the standings. I think he still is top 10. I'm not sure, to be honest, but that's going to cost him and Sanford a little bit points wise, as they are. And I think Sanford comes in this race. I think either third or fourth in the points. And Levi McIntyre is in the pits there, as he has apparently got some sort of problem with the number 99 car. Man who won 5 times last season and and finished 3rd in the points. And he is his early season hijinks kind of continue. But nobody's out of the race here. Poteet falls to 37th in the race so far, while Charles Sanford is in 21st position. Levi McIntyre drops to dead last because of the unscheduled pit stop. But Jessica Shelton will lead him down as she leads. Kyle Matthews 2nd. 3rd is Seth Cole. Cat Batson 4th. Joshua Osborne 5th. Then Paul Minnick, Joshua Collard, Zachary Fitzwater, Jesse Turner, and Ryan George, the top 10. The green flag back out. We are back underway on lap number 10. Still 51 laps remaining here at Dover. Rear bumper cam from Jessica Shelton's car. You see right there up on the high side, Joshua Collard getting ready to lose some spots here. Matthews closing in a little bit as they come off turn number 4. And there's what Shelton sees out of her view. Nothing. And she would prefer to keep it that way before this race is over. And there's Kyle Matthews' view as he knows the leader's right there, just up ahead. And if you remember, it was Matthews and Shelton who battled it out at Rockingham, the second race of the season, with Kyle Matthews taking the win in that event. But he's in a dogfight battle with Seth Cole right now, the 42 and 98 cars. Kat Batson right now running in 4th position, the best of the KAB Enterprises cars. As she is giving the Dale Jarrett cars quite a ride here. Battle going on here. William Brock moving his way up through the field in the 4 cars. He gets by Ryan George. There's another one. There's 2 other KAB cars, the 81 of Jason Haywood and the 28 of Keith Batson, running just ahead of the Chevrolet of Phil Parker. And Jay Jefferson just about smacked the wall, come off turn number 4. Jefferson right now running in 14th position, having a solid day here today in the number 90 Heiligmars machine. Battle going on right here. There's Kat Batson in the 6, Nicholas Wade in the 26 car, Quentin Moore in 21, and Cole Deaver in the 3. Dylan Poteet actually already working his way through the field right here in the 22 car. He's up to 28th position. And another guy working his way through the field in the 99 car. It's Levi McIntyre. There he is in 99. And there's a look at Ryan Brommer's number 17. Now this car, of course, a throwback to the Darrell Waltrip Mountain Dew colors in the 17 machine. This is a series of Darrell Waltrip throwbacks that they ran in 1997 with the Western Auto Parts America car. You saw one in the 600 already with the throwback to the Gatorade colors from back in the 70s. This was the Mountain Dew colors that DW drove back in the early 80s with the Parts America on the sponsorship on the car, and of course Die Hard batteries on the back. But that car not running really good right now. It's running in 33rd position as he tries to go underneath Vince Almarigo. That's for 32nd. And Levi McIntyre trying to get by the 97 car of Zach Winkle, the winner this season at Talladega. And now McIntyre trying to find his way around, now trying to get back into the front pack of cars. And see up ahead of him, that's Jonathan Zorlin and Dylan Poteet, and that little orange dot, that's Charles Sanford in the 24 car. McIntyre currently right now in 28th position at the moment. Charles Sanford's dropped to 25th. Zorlin 26th. There's Zorlin and Poteet, that's 26th and 27th. Jonathan Zorlin in the Excite Barriers car, one of the two Excite Barriers machines in the field. Trying to work his way up to the field here as he is hoping for as he has had a kind of hit or miss season so far. Trent Dunham and Preston Plord battling it out there. That's Plord in 23rd position, Dunham in 24th. Up ahead, Cole Beaver in 22nd position. 21st is Nicholas Wade. And Becca Tellier running at the top 20 so far in 20th position. But some new players up in the top 10 right now. Out goes Johnny Gardner and William Brock, and in goes Dylan Young in number 2. Dylan Young having another solid run here today in the Miller Lite Ford. And battle for 8th between Jesse Turner and Joshua Collard. 75 and 43 cars going at it right here as we're approaching halfway home right now. Already 25 laps in the books and 35 to go. Make that 26 down in the books and 34 to go. But right now, Jessica Shelton and Kyle Matthews have both opened have opened up to quite an advantage. Shelton, in fact, has opened up to a rather substantial lead right now on the 42 car. But Kyle Matthews is keeping Shelton in his point of view. Inside Kyle Matthews' car. Camera problem, sorry about that. And that's the roof cam from Matthews' machine. Keeping it to about a half a second advantage right now between the 94 and the 42 cars. And third position right now, again, is Seth Cole. Fourth is Kat Batson. As those two are battling out for third place there. Batson trying to find a way around Seth Cole. Batson yet to win a race this season. Seth Cole has won a race that came at Martinsville in the RCA Ford, driving for his own team at NNSCRA Motorsports. And here comes Batson to the inside again. Cat looks inside of Seth, and the yellow flag is flown for the second time today. Cat almost got Seth at the start-finish line, and I see the problem right there. That's the... I think that was the 15 of Ryan George that we saw stopped on the track, and damage to the Daniel Bouchard car. And as he got around Rob Evans at the start-finish line, and yes, and damage to the 30 machine. And we'll check and see what happened to Ryan George. I think it was Ryan George that cost the yellow flag. I'm not sure, actually, because I thought I saw his car on the apron on the track. As he and Cat Batson were the two that battled it out, coming off turn number 2. And that's the track that's usually, and that's part of the track that's usually a trouble spot that's come off turn 2. And trust me, you get tapped around at Dover, a place like Dover, you ain't got a prayer of a chance to prepare for an accident. But here, all you do is just like, well, actually, you ain't got time to prepare, you ain't got time to say nothing. It just happens that quick at Dover. And want proof of and how quick it happens at Dover? Here's real time. Tap off turn 2, just like that. So Ryan George, the latest victim at Dover, and he is, unfortunately for him, out of the race. So we're past halfway home in the books, as we are 32 in the books and 28 laps to go at Dover Downs International Speedway. Jessica Shelton has led the entire way so far. And we'll set the not finishing order, the field order for you right now. We're actually 25. We'll be 25 for the finish, actually, but but right now it's Jessica Shelton the leader. Second position is Kyle Matthews. Third position is Seth Cole. Fourth is Cat Batson. Fifth is Paul Minnick. Then Zachary Fitzwater, a good day in sixth position. He actually just got around Joshua Osborne before the yellow flag flew. Osborne is in seventh. Eighth right now is Jesse Turner. Joshua Collard hoping to hold on to that position. It'll be his first top 10. He'll be also on the ninth. And Dylan Young rounds out the top 10 as pace starts up on the pit road. Green flag back out after the second caution flag of the day. 35 in the books and 25 to go. And Jessica Shelton has some kind of a transmission in that McDonald's Ford. Her and Kyle Matthews, because they both been able to pull away a little bit from Seth Cole, even though Seth Cole is now trying to close in on Kyle Matthews for position. Battle for the top 10. Johnny Gardner getting around Dylan Young. Gardner up to 10th position now. And here comes the tandem of Jay Jefferson and Keith Batson. Batson looks inside, and whoa, William Brock slams the wall coming off turn number 4. Just about wiped that number 4 right off the side of that Kodak film Chevy. And Dylan Young says, I don't like that you took the top 10 spot from me. And Gardner gets off the wall, and so does Jefferson. And Dylan Young moves up to the top 10 now in 10th position, and he's going to bring Keith Batson with him. Some good racing going on here at Dover, as now Jay Jefferson and Jason Haywood battle up the 90 and the 81 cars and bring Phil Parker into this mix now in the 5 cars. Parker now gets into it, as does Nicholas Wade in 26. And here comes Jefferson inside of Batson. There they are right there. A whole slew of Fords right there in this batch of cars. Meantime, battle for 8th place going on between Jesse Turner and Joshua Collard. 75 and 43 cars going on here, and for Collard, his for Collard, of course, good news for him. Of course, the next race on the tour will be the first on the road course at Riverside. That's one of the tracks he usually shines on in this series. As does another, and of course, we talk about shining on the road courses. Well, there's two drivers that usually do in this series, and they're running first and second right now. Kyle Matthews not letting Jessica Shelton out of his point of view at the moment, though, as Matthews keeps it at about 0.3 of a second. Let's see how much he gained that last time by. Yep, only 0.02 of a second. Just an even 0.3 of a second. In fact, Matthews had a faster lap than Shelton the last time by, 161.6 to 161.8. Fastest lap of the race so far is Kat Batson at 166.1. Matthews lost a little bit on the interval that time by. Rear bumper cam from Shelton's car. And there it is from the roof cam. Into turn number 3 she comes. Shelton's been the dominant car so far in that McDonald's Ford. As she hopes to hold on for the final 15 laps of this race here. Kat Batson is still running in 4th position. In fact, the top 7 remains status quo, but here comes battle for 8th. Collard and Turner, that's 8th and 9th. And Dylan Young looks low on Turner as well. Collard, I think, is going to get that spot from Turner. Well, he will now because Turner hits the wall, come off turn number 4. And here comes Dylan Young, the Miller Lite Ford, and he's going to move inside the car. And boy, Gardner got tail happy come off turn number 2. As he's battling with Keith Batson. That's 11th and 12th right there. And Jesse Turner slams the door on Dylan Young for 9th. So the up front it may be a little bit on the dull side, but it's actually getting pretty exciting for that top 10 spot for 9th place right there, which is being led by Jesse Turner. He's holding up Dylan Young, Johnny Gardner, Keith Batson, Jay Jefferson, Jason Haywood, those drivers, as Turner tries to pull away from Dylan Young as they come off turn number 2, or turn 3, excuse me. Why things happen so quick at Dover? You don't even know which turn they're in right now. Battle for 11 still going on. Keith Batson trying to peek inside of Johnny Gardner. He does take a peek, but does not make any motion to pass. But now here comes Jay Jefferson as Batson slipped at the track now. And now they're going toe-to-toe with each other, and Batson pulls ahead as he gets a draft off Gardner's car. And meantime, Jason Haywood in danger of losing a couple of spots to the 5 of Phil Parker and the 26 of Nicholas Wade. And Haywood off the wall a little bit off turn number 4, and Parker's going to go in the inside. That is Parker right now is running. Now 3 wide racing here. And look at Nicholas Wade in the 26 car as he was inside of both Parker and Haywood. So Parker takes 14th, but now Nicholas Wade's going to go inside for that position. He's going to take 14th from Phil Parker and bring Becca Tellier in the 6 car in that mix as well, as does the 21 of Quentin Moore. And now we got troubles. It looks like we had trouble going in the. Yeah, there was trouble. Quentin Moore's got problems in the 21 machine. Oh my gosh, Quentin Moore's got dips to the inside, dips to the apron of the track, and he's heading down pit road. Looks like problems on the Sitco Ford. And 35 miles an hour down pit road. That is a killer here at Dover. Oh, and Quentin Moore had a great run going on. His best since his win of the Daytona 500, and here he comes down pit road. And I hope this does not put him out of the race. And we are already down to 6 laps to go, by the way. And it is an unscheduled stop for the 21 car. So, and actually we are under yellow. So yeah, we actually are under yellow for the 3rd time today, and I think it was the one of Trent Dunham that got turned and squeezed up in the wall by the 4 of William Brock, and that turns Dunham around. Ooh. Great saves by who was it? Both Jonathan Sorlin and Dylan Poteet. So off turn 4, we had a victim claimed right here. Dunham had just lost positions to Cole Deaver and Levi McIntyre. Let's see what happened. Come off the 4th turn. It looked like Dunham was going to get hit by Preston Plord, but Plord thought better of it. Yeah, but yeah, he goes right into William Brock and squeezes the 4 into the wall. Dunham goes into spin. He taps Jonathan Zorn. Zorn almost gets sideways, and he saves it. Then he hits Poteet and looked like it's going to turn him into a spin. So both the 22 and the 7 saved it. But Dunham gets the fuzzy end of that lollipop as he goes into a spin and pays the price for it, but now he drops back to 39th position. Quentin Moore actually comes back on the pit road after an unscheduled pit stop, and that dropped him down to 40th position. And we'll see if we get it. We'll see if we're going to get a restart in this race here at Dover. I don't know if we will or not. And we have 2 to go this time by, and yes, we will get a restart. And it will be a 1-lap dash to the checkered flag here at Dover. Oh my gosh. So, resetting the running order for you right now. Jessica Shelton leads. She hasn't been passed all day, but Cobbins, as you know, is going to give it his darndest. He's in second position right now. 3rd is Seth Cole, then Kat Batson, Paul Minnick, Fitzwater, Osborne, Collard, Jesse Turner, and Dylan Young. The top 10 at the moment. As they're going to get as the green and white flags will be waving this time by from the 3rd caution flag of the day because of what's been involving Trent Dunham. And here they come off turn number 4. Off turn number 4 they come. Shelton will lead them down. The green and white flags will be waving. Matthews staying right in there with Shelton. Does he have anything for that McDonald's Ford? Nobody has all day long. Shelton hugging that inside lane as they go into turn number 3. Matthews is going to give it one more shot. Come off turn number 4 they come. Matthews moves to the high side. It's not going to happen for the 42 car. And after 12 races of being winless, 13 is a lucky number for Jessica Shelton as she wins the FedEx 400 at Dover. So Jessica Shelton finally gets that monkey off her back as she takes her first win of the season. Kyle Matthews comes home second, and Seth Cole, Kat Badson, Paul Minnick finishing fifth. Zachary Fitzwater, Joshua Osborne finishes in seventh position. Joshua Coward finally gets a top 10, finishing eighth. Ninth will be Jesse Turner. And Dylan Young comes home finishing in 10th position. And apparently the 30 car of Daniel Bouchard is on pit road. There he is, all damaged up. And Charles Sanford as well. Oh, we must have had a bunch up. We must have had a bunch up on the restart. Well, there's where Daniel Bouchard got his damage. He hit the wall, come off turn number 4 to come in the checkered flag. He'll end up finishing 39th in this race, and here's where let's see how some of the drivers got damage on their cars. I know McIntyre and Plord did, and there's where Becca Tellier is going to get turned. McIntyre, Plord, Brock, Poteet. Everybody's going to get piled in. Holy crap. What is it with these pile-ups we've been having on the cooldown laps? I do not know. Tellier's going to bring in Keith Batson. That's what's going to happen. And then Jason Hayward almost flips her over. Mike Becker got jacked up by Cole Deaver. Yep, and the 30 car is actually on its side. And the 30 car Bouchard, he's on his side. Let's see, how did that happen? Everybody's piling in right there at this point. Bouchard's going to rear in Sean Art in the 13 car, and then finally Quentin Moore gives him the coup de grace. He, as Bouchard gets flipped on its side and stays there for a while. Yeah, the cool down lap wreck looks like the big one at Talladega. How many of those have we had this year? I actually do not know. I know we had one. I think we had one at Atlanta. We had one at wherever, but well, while all that was going on, Jessica Shelton's going to pull in the victory lane here at Dover Downs International Speedway as she wins the FedEx 400. Dominated the event, started from the pole, led all 60 laps of the event, and easily breathes home the winner as she takes the win over a hard-charging Kyle Matthews. So 13 lap races are in the books here in this race here. Rest of the finishing order: Johnny Gardner comes home in 11th. Jay Jefferson comes home in 12th. A great day for him. Excuse me. Keith Batson comes home 13th as he survives the day. Phil Parker 14th. Nicholas Wade 15th. 16th will be Becca Tellier. Jason Haywood 17th. Mike Becker 18th. Levi McIntyre 19th. And Cole Deaver, the points leader, comes home in 20th position. He won't be the points leader now because Kyle Matthews obviously finishing well ahead of Deaver in this race. And I don't know why Zach Winkle, Charles Samber, and Daniel Bouchard both all came back on the racetrack. Race is over, you guys. Come back on the pits. Preston Plord, 21st. 22nd, William Brock. Then Zorlin, 23rd. 24th, Dylan Poteet. Charles Sanford, 25th. 26th, Zach Winkle. 27th, Austin Colano. Then Carter Friesen, Ryan Brommer, and Vince Almarigo, the top 30. Then 31st on down, Ashlyn Boyd, Ben Crouch, Peter Onjak, Tony Green, Sean Ard, Rob Evans, Diego Yepes, Trent Dunham, Daniel Bouchard, and Quentin Moore, the only car lap down in this race here. Bouchard was the last on the lead lap, amazingly enough. And the only car out of the race was Ryan George in 41st position. So, well, we had a lull race at Charlotte. We have a lull race at Dover. Something tells me I hope Riverside don't end up being the same way. I actually, honestly, God, don't. Anyway, that will do it for the FedEx 400 here. If you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the show. We got NRS's gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth told us ours for this channel. And please be sure to check out Seth's Last of Us Light series, the Coors Light Truck series, the Pizza Hut X series, and the Hershey's Cup series. Please be sure to check those races out. And also, please be sure to check out Michael Norman's Bo West for All Pro series, which is also featured on this channel as well. And be sure to subscribe also to the Thrash Maniac 99's channel, as he's the man in charge of the Marvel Studios Cup series. And so please be sure to subscribe to his channel as well if you want to be in that series as well. So some of the best offline series are under the roof or under the umbrella of the NNSCRA. So that will do it for Dover International Speedway for the FedEx 400. Congratulations again to Jessica Shelton, the winner here today at Dover. And we will see you at Riverside. For now, this is James Qualson in the production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.